All right, welcome back. So to start this video off, I'll just let you know, I visited my family last night. My number one fan, my nephew, he's like, it's about this, he's probably about this, I think he's 2. He's getting close to 2. My number one fan, he loves it when I walk around. So no more sitting on a stool, it kind of sucks. Okay, so we'll have to put the stool far away. We're gonna move on with the rest of this unit. Again, we are looking at economic globalization and contemporary economic globalization. What does contemporary mean, young man? What does it mean when something is contemporary? Not temporary. That's not bad. What does it mean? Anyone? It's not permanent. It can change frequently, right? Contemporary things are happening now, and yes, they're changing, right? Historical globalization, what does that mean? Thank you for raising your hand.
It's history.
History, right? It's in the past, right? So contemporary looks at modern things. Your curriculum really emphasizes right after World War II, like 1944 to 1960s onwards. Man, I thought that bag was a student with their head down. I was gonna say, no way you're already sleeping. The lecture just started. We look at 2 main points from your curriculum. The first being analyzing political and economic challenges and opportunities of globalization. We also look at multiple perspectives regarding the relationship among people, the land, and globalization. Okay, there's a couple different things in there. This, for those of you who skimmed through the notes package, this notes package is not fully complete. I haven't done all the work for this. It's not fully done. So there are some things missing, which I will hopefully fill in on the spot using my voice like magic. Okay. Looking at some of the political and economic challenges and opportunities. Isn't this a lovely color, kids?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, why'd you shake your head no?
It's too bright.
Too bright.
It looks nice. It's supposed to be
I would
bright.
like it more pastel.
Pastel. Okay. I don't know how to make it more pastel, but I see what you're saying. Trade liberalization, we talked about this briefly in the last notes package, right? But looking at some of the definitions here, your textbook gives like how many of you actually understand what this word means just based on your textbook? The process of reducing barriers to trade. Does that really help you understand the word? You're doing one of these, right? It doesn't really help you at all. So there's 2 other definitions. Trade liberalization, I have the source there as well if anyone's interested. This PowerPoint is posted. Trade liberalization is the removal or reduction of restrictions or barriers on the free exchange of goods between nations. Again, still very similar to the textbook answer, it doesn't help you, but gives you some examples. These barriers include tariffs, so I think there's a definition there, such as duties or surcharges. How many of you have flown internationally? So what happens when you're like landing in that country and they ask you like, hey, do you have any items with duties? Kids remember that?
Yeah.
What are they essentially checking for?
The purpose why
Say that again?
the purpose why
They're also checking why you're there, but they're also looking at, did you bring any merchandise from one place to another that you might have to pay taxes for, right? Whatever you're gonna do with that. And so, they're looking for that. Those are duties. Non-tariff barriers such as licensing rules and quotas as well. Another definition here, so trade liberalization involves removing barriers to trade between different countries and encouraging free trade. So your 3rd unit talks mostly about how do you get more people to trade. So think about it this way. In sports, let's say like basketball or hockey, how do you get all 5 players to pass the ball between one another? Right? Or the puck, right? If you're doing a group project, how do you make sure all 3 people or 4, do work on your project? Because remember, kids, the 3rd person in any group is useless. Thank you, remember from last year. And we're starting to learn that as well, because some of y'all didn't do much work on our last project, which I allowed 3 group members for, right? Some groups did, some groups didn't. Okay. Back from her long trek, thank you. Okay, you had your hand up. Bathroom? Now you're lying, like you literally did this. Nice, excellent, okay. So trade liberalization is just reducing any kind of restrictions. So for example, on a team, what prevents you from passing the ball to a teammate?
An opponent.
An opponent, right? Like somebody might have their hand up or a hockey stick in the way. What else might prevent you from passing the ball to a teammate? They're not moving. A problem we suffer with. Okay.
They're not paying attention.
They're not paying attention, right? Okay. So in terms of a country, let's say like they're not moving. What does that equate to? Maybe they just have bad policies. They don't want to trade with other people. They think trading with other people, making too much money is evil, right? Some people think capitalism is evil, like having money. They think, well, we should all be equal. Nobody should own anything, right? These are things that limit, these are beliefs that limit, your ability to conduct trade or, pass the ball amongst people, right? Non-tariff barriers, something like maybe you don't like somebody on the team, so you're like, I'm not giving them the ball, right? Because I don't like them, right? Or maybe that person sucks. You're like, okay, every time I give them the ball or the puck, they lose it, right? Similarly, group projects. Some of you learned real quick. I think you learned this real quick. First project. Wow, I'm never going to work with that person again. Why not? They did nothing. Okay, so we don't want to, like, they got nothing to offer, so we don't want to trade with them. We don't want to be on the same team, right? All of this happens at a personal level, but it also happens at like a country level as well, right? Part 2. So, trade liberalization is at the forefront of economic globalization. What does that mean? Well, globalization is the world becoming more connected. Economic globalization is just, our economies becoming more connected. So if more people, like let's say you have a team of, okay, how many of you watch like the All-Star game for your sport? You don't watch the All-Star game? What do you mean? It's boring. How is it boring? They score like 20 times. No way. What's interesting then?
They don't actually try. They just go around blind.
Okay. Some of y'all watch the All-Star game, right? What happens when you have a team where everybody on the team is very skilled? You get something our team doesn't get. W's. Okay? We're good, right? We're just not getting these. That's okay. We're gonna improve things, right?
We're not connecting. We're only
Yeah. Right now we're just L's. We gotta take those 2 L's and turn them into a W at some point, okay? But when you have 5, 10, 15 people on a team and they're all competent and they have great chemistry and they have something to offer and they know, you get lots of trade. You connect with one another. So what does Canada offer to the world from a trading standpoint? What valuable resources? Oil, right? Oil is pretty useful. What does oil do? Thank you for raising your hand.
Powers our things. Factories, cars.
Factory, it helps us run our factories, helps us run our vehicles, right? So how many of you ate a piece of fruit in the last 3 days? How do you think that fruit got to you? A tree that was grown. Thank you for the TC. Did you say a tree?
Yeah.
Did you say trade?
Nah, it's a tree.
Well, both count, but like
Nah, it's a tree.
they're both NPC answers. Okay. How did that fruit get to you? Did it just like airplane? Okay, could be an airplane. What did airplanes run on? Jet fuel, right? If it didn't come here on a plane, it came here on a boat. What did they put in boats to make a move?
Fuel.
Oil, right? Fuel, right? And then when it got to Canada, like did you yeah, like a vehicle, right? Maybe a truck, maybe another plane, right? I don't know what this was. This was you driving?
Yeah.
You were in your Vin Diesel era? Okay. F is family? Okay, excellent, right? So we give the world oil, which then gives the world energy, right? That's what oil is. It's just energy. Okay. What else? What's up? Oh, say it with confidence. Confidence, like you're driving to the basket. Don't be shy.
He said no.
Okay, what else do we give to the world that's valuable and useful? Lumber, right? You guys know what lumber is?
Wood.
Wood, right? So we grow trees, we sell that as lumber, right? What else do we give? Well, what do you use lumber for? What do you use wood for?
Houses.
housing, building, all sorts of stuff, right?
We sell diamonds. We have a lot of diamonds.
Perhaps we have some mines, right? We sell valuable resources, minerals. What else? We generate electricity here as well, right? Okay. What do you think are some things we might need from other countries?
Maybe like more metal, like iron.
Right? Maybe iron, steel, right? Finished metal. What do you use that for?
For building.
Building things,
Like technology. stuff.
technology. What else? No, but like our electronics finished products,
But you use
Cars.
the various chips, right? All that gets made somewhere. Canada is not known for making microchips. At least I don't think, right? Like we're not really big technological producers, right? You had your hand up as well. What do you think something we get from the world that's pretty useful?
I was gonna say like different kinds of food.
Different kinds of food, right? What kind of fruit can you grow in Canada?
Apples.
Apples.
Oranges.
Maybe some raspberries.
I don't know if you can grow oranges in Canada.
Raspberry.
Lots of berries, right? I don't think you can grow bananas in Canada either. So we get a lot of food, a lot of different food options, right? You have your hand up as well.
We need like
There's some places in BC I think they grow
Not
grapes. What are you doing?
blowing my nose.
Okay, cool.
not just raw resources, but we need already like produced things like cars or computers or like technical stuff like
Yeah,
that.
we get a lot of finished products,
Make
right?
that stuff.
And so this is all economic globalization. You become dependent. Fabrics, clothing, all that kind of stuff, right?